This is where the fun begins.
Just get those wonderful toys.
Welcome to the party, pal!
All right. Hello, hello. Hello, action figure friends. How are you doing out there? Good to see you. It's good to be here. Everyone hear me okay? I think I got this all set up. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I'm your host for the evening. I'm Diehard 3.75, aka Tony Creek, and this is your bi-weekly 118.37.5 news show where we talk all things 118 3.75 inch action figures and everything that goes along with that, army building, world building, a little bit of customs here and there, and of course toy news. Hope everyone's having a good day. I am. I spent the morning doing a lot of yard work as the weather kind of turned again over here. It's gotten nice and warm, and so I was outside all day. It's good to be here. Had to get up early today, put the slides together. I've got a really good show for you tonight, guys. Lots of news. Lots of news. I couldn't get it all in, but I tried. And I got a news segment at the end called Overtime. Hopefully you guys will stick around. We can get to that segment. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's see. Before I go any farther, let me say hi to everybody really quick who has commented in the chat. Let's see here. We've got Ian at Mudhorn Station, Bjorn, Schmebulak. How is it going, Bedray Bob? How are you, Bob? I saw you on Wilhelm yesterday, and I did watch that show last night before I went to bed. Great show. I'll touch on your show a little bit, that show a little bit later on tonight here. But I wasn't able to watch the Outer Multiverse yet, but I will right after this show. Glad you could make it. See everyone saying hello to each other. Brian, hey Brian, I was just talking about your show. I'm going to be watching your show right after this one. How are you doing, my friend? Glad you could make it. And Fat Red Foo, how are you, Foo? Good to see you out there. All right, I think I got everybody. Star Wars 2-pack is back, $40. Nice. Is back down to $40. Okay, you mean the new one? Are you talking the new Anakin one? We're going to talk about that one a little bit here in a sec. I know I helped with that one too. I'm a regular contributor to the news. Yes, you are. You are. Bjorn is a regular contributor. No problem, Brian. No problem. Thank you for all your friendship. All right, guys. So I want to get to the news here because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I got a cup of coffee, kind of wake myself up. I never finished my cup from this morning as I wanted to get to work before it got too hot out. So welcome back. Okay, so last 2 weeks, I did post my haul for the month of May the other day, just a day or two ago. Really quick video. It's about 6-7 minutes. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Got some really good stuff in there. A little bit of everything. And pretty much 99% pre-order stuff that I ordered last year. It finally came around early this year. And it's a good quick video. If you're interested at all, please check it out. Please comment, leave a comment if you picked up any of that stuff. Hey Pirates, welcome. Pirates, how you doing? Good to see you out there. Let's see, and got the new segment tonight. We're gonna try something called Overtime, and we'll if we get there that far, I hope you guys can stick around. I'm gonna not go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow. I don't want to keep you guys here up all night but maybe we will. But one thing I forgot, I don't think he's here yet. I should mention, um, about a month ago, I just haven't been doing videos, so I haven't been able to use it. But Jabalong Jeff, shout out to Jabalong Jeff if you're watching this. If you watch this on the replay, I haven't seen him here tonight. He did help me with a new logo. So that kind of new transparent Die Hard logo that I've been trying to use on the last 2 or 3 videos. Jeff helped me with that, so I should have thanked him in the last live stream. I didn't. Hope I didn't hurt his feelings if he's out there. Thank you, Jeff. But that new kind of transparent Grievous Die Hard logo, Jeff helped me with that. So big shout out to Jabalong Jeff in Toy City for helping me with that. I apologize. I should have said something earlier. It did seem like quite a long time ago. I think that's why I forgot, and I just haven't been making videos and as much as before, so I haven't used it. So, but big shout out to Jeff if he's out there and he sees this. All right, so let's just jump right into the news, guys. It's going to be a good one, action packed, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let's just get right into it. All right, everyone can hear me okay, right? Everyone can hear me all right? So where to begin? So I decided we're going to start here. I know most of us here collect the vintage collection. I know Ian, Mudhorn Station does, and he's on the other side of the world, so it's tougher for him to stay up late. So I want to do this first because I know he probably has a lot of good input to say about these reveals that we just had. But I think it was last Tuesday, the Hasbro team, was it Brandon and Mr. Stevie, did a Star Wars fan stream, Black Series Vintage Collection. Of course, we're only going to talk Vintage Collection here because that is what this video or this channel is about, is 3.75 and 118. So we're only going to talk Vintage Collection. But Brandon and Mr. Stevie did have some reveals for us. It was pretty good live stream. I enjoyed it. I like Brandon. Seems like a nice guy. Seems genuinely to like the line and the brand, as well as Mr. Stevie, of course. All right. Let me just check the comments here. Howdy. Hey, Bob. All right. Okay. So first items here. I thought we'd start here. I think this was the figure that I saw most agreement on in the comments, that people really liked. They really liked this Embo. I don't know if, hopefully you've had time to see the movie. If not, I would check it out. It was a pretty fun movie. Embo did play a significant role in it, kind of moving the story along, I would say. And we got the figure. This is, I guess, the second Embo figure. We did get a Clone Wars cartoon version. This isn't that much different. It really looks very, very similar. Obviously, the colors are different. This is a more realistic looking version, but very nice looking figure. Love the card back. I don't actually remember that image on the card back from the movie, but it looks pretty cool. This is something I pre-ordered. I think most of the people that collect Vintage Collection, if they were only going to get one, this might have been the one from this wave. He looks nice for sure. Yeah, he does. Have to get an Embo, would be rude not to. Yeah, this guy looks pretty good. I think this is a universal cool looking kind of a figure. I guess the one glaring thing though is his companion, his canine, his dog, for lack of a better, I don't know the species of it. I really wish they could have made this the deluxe figure if that's what it took to get that dog, because the dog did also have a central role in the movie, just like Embo. And I think that's a bit of a miss here for this one. The figure, it's no criticism of this figure, just the lack of the dog with the figure. Maybe they'll do a deluxe one later. I just kept thinking they did such a good job with the female Tusken Raider that came with the sand dog. I forget the name now, but that little dog was really good. I'm not sure why they couldn't duplicate that same type of thing here and make this a deluxe figure. Again, I think they probably will eventually, um, but I think that was a bit of a miss for this figure, to not be included with this figure. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. Looks like good use of soft goods. Looks like an overlay of sort of a rougher plastic with the soft goods underneath. Hat comes off. Looks like he's got a couple accessories. Good looking figure. Just wish the dog was with him, or that this, I wouldn't mind paying a little bit more to get the dog myself. He is neat. Wish he had his dog. I'll get him. His hat is going to be great for customs. Yeah, the hat looks pretty cool. It looks like, like he uses it. Could be a shield. Could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of things. Didn't they ride on it in something too? Like he rode on it like a surfboard, kind of like a skateboard. Lots of things with that helmet. Looks really good. I think this was kind of universally that I didn't see anyone go, oh, I don't like that figure. I only comment I really saw and that I agreed with on the negative side was the lack of the dog. But we got Hera. We got Hera Syndulla. Season 1 Hera. Mr. Stevie mentioned something that obviously it's a bit different of a design because she's season 1, but it builds on the other version that they did. But she does have a new torso, and I believe a new head, a new face portrait. So she looks pretty good. I think with this one being season 1, we just need a season 1 Ezra now, I believe, right? That's the only one we're missing to kind of complete the the Rebels Ghost team. This looks like a pretty good figure. I did grab one of these. If I was feeling cynical, if they had included the dog and called it a deluxe release, it might have overshadowed the Zeb. Yeah, we're going to talk about Zeb here. I got some things to say about the Zeb myself. But you're right. You're right. And I don't think they could do. I don't think they've really done 2 deluxe figures in one wave for a long time, or if ever. It's just too much. I think it's just too much on the collector to expect the collectors to buy everything, because that deluxe is already a sort of a sore point, right? So they need to use that very infrequently and be very prudent. I'm trying to use nice big words, prudent, when they do use it to justify, that extra $5-6. I did get the Hera, even though I have 2 others. Need her for my ghost. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I need her for my ghost. I need her for my ghost. I need to kind of fill out that season 1 team. And this was a good pick. This was a good pick. And I'll say too, as we go down the line here, we've got a figure from Mando Grogu. We've got a season 1 Rebels. Got another Mando Grogu figure here. They did a really good job again of pulling from all different media and lore in this wave. Hola, amigos. Woke up a little late. Hey, Jeff, I was talking about you earlier in the stream. You'll have to catch it on the replay and the opening comments. It was all good. It was all good. Don't worry. I mentioned you though. Glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. Here we go. Army Builder though. Army Builder, Mando Grogu, mercenary droid. This is a B2 droid. Modified. He's got a cape. He's got like almost, I guess, a bandolier. These guys were very cool in the movie. I think Black Series got the B1. We got the B2. Maybe the next round it will be opposite. We'll get that B1 and they'll get the B2. I would like to see both of the droids eventually in the line. But pretty good looking, army builder. And we needed this B2. They haven't redone the B2 for Vintage Collection. So we need this figure. I would love a nice clean Attack of the Clones version as well. Pirate says, we would buy multiple deluxe figures if they were good figures. I just need Hera because I missed out on the more modern version. Okay. Now this droid is the star for me. Okay, this was the best one for you. I need that B2 droid. Hope they do the other one. Yeah, me too. Me too. The winner for me too, Ian. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, this buck, I mean, obviously they can use this buck um, for the other version. Um, and there was even like, wasn't there? There was a an underwater version. The Clone Wars had everything, right? They had an underwater version. They had the regular version. Now we've got this version, so it's a buck that they can reuse. And I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we got it. I always love a good army builder, even if it is a a droid. It's not a human, which doesn't matter. But I like. I always say this. I love to army build. It's kind of weird, like alien type armies. This would be a robot army, a mech army. Good to see you, and thanks for showing up on my stream too. Hi, Ian, Pirates, Bjorn, Bob. Howdy, Jabalong. So yeah, this one looks pretty good. I did grab two of these guys. Um, I'd like to get more, but I also would like if they do the B1, if I just get a couple of those, then I have, three or four of these. I think that's a pretty good like security team, security squad. But if you've seen the movie, they had a lot of these guys. There was a lot of them, and they were cool. They were very cool. All right, Sand Trooper, um, a repack of the. We got a 3-pack of these guys that was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive not too long ago. They've now single carded this Sand Trooper. Um, Personally, I was pretty disappointed in this one. Um, it's a good figure, though. I'm not saying it's not a good figure, but I have a lot of these figures. I was hoping that they had updated him a little bit more when I bought the 3-pack. I'm trying to remember who was in the 3-pack. It was a Scout Trooper, the Snow Trooper Commander, and this guy. And the Snow Trooper Commander at that time, I think, was the best of those three. And this one for me, I think, is a pass. I think it's a great card back. It's totally necessary for people who didn't want to buy that 3-pack. It was expensive. And now you can army build this guy. Um, this is one, though, that I passed on. This is one I looked at and said, I've got enough Sand Troopers from when the Black Series was 3.75 and the other different versions. Like I said, those 3-packs. I bought 2 of those 3-packs, so I've got a couple of these already. This was one I was able to pass on because they haven't updated the hips. And I don't think I'm going to buy any more Sand Troopers until they do. But I'm glad that this is available for people who didn't get that 3-pack. Here you go. Let's see. These weathered Cape Separatist droids give me acid rain vibes in the movie. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And that whole planet that they were on was like an acid rain type world, wasn't it? No new Stormies for me until they get the barbell hips. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too, Bob. That's how I'm feeling too. But this is a great card back. And I like that they're offering it for people that didn't, get that 3-pack or were hoping for more Sand Troopers. So another good army builder, but just not one for me. Not one for me. Let's see. And then here's the deluxe Zeb that Ian was talking about earlier. I think your comment about, and now I have to read it again, but I don't think they can do 2, deluxes in the same wave. I mean, I don't see why not, but I think they're trying not to. Zeb's a bigger guy, a lot of plastic here. I'll be honest, I passed on this one for a couple reasons. One is I don't need a lot of pilots anymore. I haven't been buying any of the pilots. I didn't buy a Luke X-Wing. I didn't buy the Pilot 4-pack. I've pretty much stayed away from pilots. Just don't need them. I love Zeb, but this is not my favorite look for him. What I really want in this pack is I want his blaster. The last version we got, the Season 1 Deluxe Zeb, I forgot what the weapon's called, but it's in the staff version. They didn't give you the gun version. And even I think Agent Callus came with the this pole version. For you guys, I'm sure most of you know, but if you don't, this gun converts. It folds up into like a bow staff, but it's also a rifle. I really want that gun to go with my season one Zeb, but I can't justify buying this for the 25 bucks or whatever just to get that accessory. But if one of you 3D printer guys is out there and you pick this up and you happen to make some of those, let me know. I would gladly purchase some of them off of you, because that was what I most wanted from this figure. So I did pass on this one. I was curious too. He is in his pilot gear, and I think in the movie, I don't think it's a spoiler, he's in the Razor Crest, and he's also in a U-Wing. I'm wondering though, would he actually fit in the U-Wing, or would he fit in an X-Wing if he is deluxe, if he is that big, if he is a pilot? I don't think he will, and he doesn't have a helmet. So I'm not sure, he's a pilot, but he'll fit in the Razor Crest, I'm sure, but I don't know if he'll fit anywhere else. So in my mind, it kind of defeats the purpose of him being a pilot if he can't fit in the cockpit of a ship. Let's see. It's a shame we haven't gotten barbell hips on them yet. I'm with you, Bob. Not buying Stormtroopers until they upload the hips. Yep. So you guys are kind of saying what I was thinking too. The rifle harness looks really odd, like a retro collection item rather than TVC. Having an Embo and his dog as a deluxe would just serve to show this one is overpriced. Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, because then you're thinking you get all that plastic for that price, and then you just get Zeb. Even though Zeb's a bigger guy, he is a bigger guy. Embo and Blue Zeb were top of my list after the movie, so I was happy to get both. Oh, good, good. I'll happily get this figure when it gets discounted. Me too. I think I will get it, but just not. I think right now we're not going to pre-order at the full price, and hopefully I can grab him later. So I am kind of scaling back a little bit. I don't think I'll have a problem getting this in a year from now. I don't think it's going to sell out like that, but I just don't want to spend the money up front right now. The whole deluxe thing is for single figures, though, is kind of a racket. I agree. I passed on Zeb 2. I made a custom one using the Force Awakens figure. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, so I passed on him, but I really want that rifle. So maybe eventually I'll if I find him on the peg and he's on clearance, I'll probably grab him. But I did pass this time. All right. So this is one I want to talk about here. I'm going to try to get my thoughts out. I was going over this in my head a couple times. Hopefully I can articulate myself and make my point that I want to make about this one. So this is Devin. We talked about Devin a couple times. I love the show. I love the character. I think it's a great card back. I love how the figure looks. During the live stream with Brandon, Mr. Stevie, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a second. I hate her wrist. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the wrist. Mr. Stevie, he made 2 points because he said there's a lot of people talking about the wrist. I want to explain it. And he said that the adding an articulated wrist, the term he used was it blows out the wrist, meaning I think it's too big. And proportion, he used the word proportion, was off. And I'm sure he's right. I don't believe he's like telling a lie or anything. I believe him. But my issue is, why didn't they figure it out? That when you're designers, they are problem solvers. So I think they probably did figure it out, but he just didn't like how it looked, and he didn't like proportionally how it looked. It threw off. You hear this a lot. Like McFarlane used to say this. I've heard the Chicken Fried Toys guys say it. They don't want to add a piece of articulation here or there because it will mess up the sculpt, and they're right. But at this point in 2026, and this line being a collector's line, they've got to figure out a way to give it the wrist. Now, hear me out, okay? When They used to say, how are you going to put a rocker ankle on a 3.75 inch figure? They figured it out. How are you going to put barbell hips on these figures? They're too little. They figured it out. How our economy, how things work is the first person to figure it out is going to reap the rewards from it. They should have spent the money or the time, the R&D, the research and development to figure out how to fix that wrist. And then they would reap the spoils of having that wrist. Now she's really small, and he pointed that out, that she's really small, and she is. But the thing is, whatever they invest to get that wrist the right way, they can then use again. There's so many characters in Star Wars that are kids. Omega. Omega's going to need this wrist. This is girls like the same age as Omega. When they come out with the Omega, which they should eventually, if they're giving us the Bad Batch team, she's going to need that wrist. Think of the Clone Wars, all of the Jedi, when Ahsoka, the episode, that arc where they crash land and they have to fight Hondo and Naka, those teenager kids, when they're all Jedi, they need to have that wrist. All of the Boba Fett's, the Clone Wars, all of the young clones, all those guys, the Padawans in that are training with Yoda in Attack of the or Sith, the Revenge of the Sith. This wrist, it could open up so many other figures and characters from Star Wars. They should have figured it out. That's what designers do. There's a problem, they figure out how to fix it. It sounds like they might have got it, but Mr. Stevie didn't like the aesthetic. But then if you don't like the aesthetic, fix it, figure it out, take it to the next step. The product or the mediums now that they use, the plastics and things, they've gotten so good. I think that this is a problem that should have been solved, or maybe the figure wasn't ready to roll out. If they can't fix that. Everything else I like about the figure, I wish it would have some soft goods. It's not a big deal that it's not. She has all the other points of articulation that you need. It's just the wrist. I really wish they would have figured out how to do that. Mr. Stevie, you got to do better, man. You got to figure it out. You got to do it. Throughout action figure history, there've always been, why can't it have a knee articulation? Why can't it have a swivel wrist? Why can't it have a swivel bicep and that someone figures it out? Hasbro is, as big as they are, they should have figured this out. I'm still going to get the figure. I still like the figure. I just feel like there was more to it than just Devin here. There's so many other characters, and they're going to need that wrist. Do it now. You just do it now. Figure it out. Then you have that wrist in your library of parts and pieces, and you could use it for all those other kids that I was talking about. So there's so many kids. I mean, little Padawan Anakin from the end of Phantom Menace. He's going to need that wrist. I can go on and on. I could keep thinking up new kid characters that are in Star Wars that will need that wrist. Fix the wrist. So there, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I hope I articulated myself. Hope you guys understand the point I was trying to make. I love, Mr. Stevie and Brandon. They're great guys. I love this line. It's my favorite line. I'm only critiquing it because I want to see it do well, but they should have fixed that. They should have figured it out. All right. Sorry, I was trying to get that out, so I wasn't reading the comments. Let me jump back in here. Let's see. I passed on Zeb 2. I hate her wrists. To my American friends. If any of you ever see the Zeb for cheap or like a Ross, could we grab one? Absolutely. If they can have a B1 droid with articulation, then they could have given her something more than a swivel forearm. I agree. The wrist isn't an issue for me since Devin won't be a Jedi in my collection. Okay. I don't mind if the wrist is a little larger if it means better. See, that's what I mean too. That's what I mean too, Pirates. That's my sentiment. I'll just figure it out on my own. She's definitely getting an arm swap. Her cloak might be useful. Yo, Tech 49. How you doing? Hello. The Chinese companies do articulated wrists that small, but they're for adults, where TVC is technically age 3 and up. I wonder if Hasbro is afraid of breakage. Could be. What's up, Tech? Tech, fix the wrist. Yeah. The boss fight halfling has a small wrist. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I mean. It could be done. I don't know if maybe because we've heard that sometimes each wave has a budget. Maybe to solve that problem would have put that wave in the red, and so they said, you know what, we'll stop where we're at. The next wave it comes out, put a little bit more into it. I'm trying to be positive about it, but I just feel like they should have fixed that. That shouldn't at this point in 2026 they should be able to figure that out. Other people, like Jeff said, other people do. Maybe it's an age thing, maybe it's a QC thing, but figure it out. Figure it out. Solve the problem. That's what designers do. They solve problems, and I bet those guys they enjoy a challenge, and I'm sure they could have done it. I think in the end, Mr. Stevie has the final say, being the boss that he is. But I would have liked to have seen that fixed. Didn't the young male Padawan have an articulated wrist? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But if they ever do another young Padawan, he's gonna need it. Omega. I was thinking Omega. If they're gonna give us Omega by the time it might be in 3 years by the time we actually get Omega, but they need to have this wrist for her. She's only like 16 or 15. She might even be a little bit younger in the show, or the all the younglings. There was a lot of them. The Boba Fett's when he's a little kid. What's up? What's up, Will? How you doing? Rocket Will. I think that's you out there. How you doing? I'm gonna have to measure her wrist when she gets here. Yeah, she was really dainty. She is really small. But I just want to see him figure that out, man. I want to see him figure it out. All right, so that was that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Don't want to go down. This is a happy live stream, but we've got to call spade a spade. Would have liked to see them fix that. Okay, let's see. So here's the wave. Went up for pre-order the other day. Like I mentioned, I passed on the Zeb. I passed on the Stormtrooper, and I got a couple of each one of the others. Didn't really army build at all. I think I got 2 of the robots. That was about as much as I did on this one. But good wave. I think it's a good wave. Again, we've got Darth Maul, Rebels, probably A New Hope, Grogu, and a little more Grogu, which makes sense. The movie's out right now. And I enjoyed the movie. I don't know what people are saying, but I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's like a day in the life of Mando and Grogu, which I enjoyed. All right, so let's see. Next item. Just found out about this yesterday. It was Brandon and Chris from the Hasbro team were on Star Wars TVC YouTube channel. And they got to do the reveal for this one. This is a Walmart exclusive. This is in line with the Obi-Wan and the Airborne Trooper that I think we got a few months ago that I have ran into at Walmart. I have seen it there. I never picked it up. But this is hot off the press. This was just announced yesterday. I just checked. The youngling Padawan does have an articulated swivel wrist. Okay. I like the movie, just want more. Yeah, the movie was good. Yeah, the movie was cool. But yeah, we get another 2-pack. At first, this pack like didn't make sense to me because it's Anakin, and they show him there with the 501st, but he comes with Cody from Utapau. But I guess what's holding this set together is they're both from Revenge of the Sith. So the pack, it's a Revenge of the Sith pack, where I felt like the Obi-Wan one, those two like were in the same scene together. At least I think so. So they were like together. This is more like just two figures from the same movie. So kind of a little bit of oddity there to me. But both look like really good figures. We've got Anakin Skywalker, not Darth Vader. And we've got Clone Commander Cody Utapau. I want the Cody. Yeah, I want the Cody too. Hard pass for Bjorn. So this is probably a pass for me too. I just like the Obi-Wan. A 2-pack. I want both figures, but I don't want to buy a 2-pack. This one's a little bit better because they're named characters, so it's not necessarily an army build like the last one with the airborne trooper. That is an army build. I'm guessing they will single card pack these eventually, and that's probably when I'll strike. Or like the Obi-Wan, if I see it on clearance at Walmart, then I'll probably jump on it. But this is one that I'm gonna pass on. They look to be pretty good. I didn't grab that many photos of them. Maybe not the best likeness there. Not bad, but maybe not the best. I think their soft goods game has really gotten good. It's really gotten good. If this one comes looking like this, that's going to be pretty good. They're adding that extra force hand now. I think Devin could have used an extra hand, but then they would have to have a peg. So they left out that extra hand. So they got one here for him. And then we've got the Cody. I noticed this leg is like turned off to the side. I don't know why that's that way. But a good looking Cody. Looks like a helmeted head though. Doesn't look like there's anything underneath it. Does look proportioned. He's got his 2 blasters that he should have. Good looking figures. Good looking figures, but I think again probably gonna pass for me. And like the Zeb, like the Obi-Wan 2-pack and this pack, I'll probably get them eventually if I find them on clearance or at Ross or, at a discount. Just don't want to pay full price for them right now. Oh, wait till it comes on single card. Yeah, should have been Obi-Wan with the riding creature. Yeah, I have that riding creature. I have to dig him out. I have him mint on box. My brother got me a gift card one Christmas to a comic book store, and when I went there, they had it, so I picked it up. I've never opened it, but they definitely need that creature. And I would think, I don't know why the Cody. I feel like the Cody should have gone with the Obi-Wan. But it is what it is. I'll say Brandon did say during the live stream that Walmart was very happy with the initial sales of the Obi-Wan 2-pack. And so they were willing, to do another one, which is this. I wasn't sure, I don't know how the sales work. I've seen that Obi-Wan 2-pack quite a bit. But apparently, maybe it did sell well. And that's good. That's good for the line. It's good for us. But, I'm not grabbing these. I know they're holding stuff back for Comic-Con. Yeah, they are. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to do a little segment here. A lot of shows coming up. And more reveals, right? More reveals are starting to drop. But these look pretty good. I think it's safe to assume these are all, this is on the new buck. This is on the new buck, the new clone buck. So it's the best buck there is. They seem to have solved all the problems with the Jedi now, with the ball jointed hips and the rocker ankles. They're even giving us an extra hand now. So these guys are on the up and up. I did see something about the price, but I couldn't confirm if it was $40 or $50 for this pack. I think, is that what, Brian, what you were talking about earlier, Audi, when you were saying it was confirmed it was 40, not 50? So I'm not sure what the price is on this because I'm not getting it. But hopefully it's not 50 because that's a lot. That's a lot. They mentioned a possible stream on Father's Day. Oh, cool. Yeah, still no updates on the gunship. Still no updates. That's got to be at Comic-Con. They're probably going to pull it out again. Maybe the finished one, I would imagine. Because that's coming up because we're in June now, guys. We're right about almost halfway through the year. So, I think the gunship was due by December. So it's got to be coming up on, it's got to be in production by now, I would think. But I love this shot here. This was, I think, right off the box. Fantasy Scene additional figures sold separately. There's the 501st back there. Like, it would have made more sense to have him with Rex or one of these 501st troopers than Cody. But, not a big deal. Cody's great. We needed a new Cody. You know, they had skipped Cody several times. We've gotten lots of Rexes over the years, different versions of Rex, right? We had Bad Batch Rex. We've had all kinds of Rexes, probably what, at least 2, 3 Rexes, but we haven't had a Cody in a long time. So it's good that they got to him. He's got to be like the second, maybe first. I think Rex is the favorite, but maybe Cody's like the second most favorite clone, I would think. So good 2-pack, but I'm going to pass. Looks good. I'll grab it if I find it on clearance. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I'll switch over here. So we're going to move over a little bit into some independent toy makers. No, I guess not. I couldn't match this stuff up. It was tough this week, guys. There was so much stuff. But last week, I hope you guys saw, I was able to watch live. Wilhelm and Bob, the 118, had Ed Hillman on to talk about the pre-orders for the Human Bullet and the Sky Pirates, which are now up for pre-order on Big Bad Workshop. If you didn't check this out last week, go back and check it out. There's a lot of good information on here. Like Into the Toy Box, my other show that I watch consistently is Wilhelm, and of course YouTube Pirates. But check out this show. Lots of good stuff in there. Oh, and I should say, I did finally pull the trigger, and I did get the book. I did just get the book. I got it a couple days ago. I've only read the first couple pages to it, but I did finally get the book. I've been putting it off for a while, but I did finally get the book. Let's see. Anakin and a bunch of younglings. I have tons of ideas for those 2 figures. Yeah, so we got the Human Bullet here. If you watched the live stream Wilhelm had, he talks about all the sort of updates to this figure from the previous release. I never able to get this figure. So I was right there when the pre-order went up. I was actually a little nervous it was going to sell out before I could get it. But I did get my pre-orders in. I love these photos. Just grabbed a few of them, didn't grab all of them. We got the Human Bullet here. And all the stuff he comes with a lot of stuff here, guys. So there's really 3 figures in this one. When you have all these 3 portraits here, all these different hands, weapons, jetpack, flames, goggles, lots of good stuff here. Very good looking figure. He is $30. This is a independent toy maker, smaller batch, and I think they're worth it. I do think they're worth it. Lots of good stuff. Like I said, I always look at these like there's a couple figures in here. You've got $1, but you got all these other parts for other figures. And if you have any of the Eagle Force, and these heads are pretty compatible with the Vintage Collection stuff too, because this is more of a 375 line, my opinion. The height of them. Actually, though, this guy might be a little taller because he does have the bullet head. But they're more 375. But they're up for on Big Bad right now, along with Black Jet. I love this shot here. Great shot. Just threw it in there. But here's Black Jet and the Sky Pirates. Nice soft goods here. Again, lots of head sculpts. I think this one has 5 portraits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 portraits. So there's like 5 figures in here. Both of these guys are army builders, Get as many as you want. Get 1. Maybe you only need 1, And he's a hero in your, in your story or whatever you're doing. But this guy looks like he comes with even more stuff. A few more heads. He's got the sword. Binoculars, lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff in these figures. These are there's a lot in here, and I think he mentioned too that these are going to come in the boxes like the Eagle Force stuff. They have the sort of comic, not insert, but the comic flap on the inside. So these are more like Eagle Force, less like the Legends of Liberty that came in the baggies. But good stuff. The guy who wrote the book, Nedro, Bill Nedro did the comic as well for these boxes. Lots of good stuff. I'm not going to talk too much more about it because you need to check out Wilhelm's show. You need to be subscribed to Wilhelm if you're not. But check it out. Good, good stuff. And I was able to get them. I took a little 10-minute break at work and was able to get these on my phone. Was just worried like the Legends of Liberty stuff that they might sell out really quick, but they're still on Big Bad, so they're still available to you. If you want to wait till they're in stock or pre-order them now and then pay when they show up, and you get that $6 shipping. So just want to touch on that real quick. I did open too. From my last haul, I did open the Legends or Liberty guys. Got Uncle Sam Jr. and Yankee Doodle. So I did open those guys. They're a lot of fun. I think I like the Yankee Doodle a little bit more. But whatever you like what you like. Got a dip. Have to catch the rest on replay. Foo, thanks for coming by. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping in. All right, and there's Black Jet. He's $30 if you're interested. All right, we're going to talk some Hiya G.I. Joe. We got 2 new figures Hiya mentioned, talked about, announced in the last 2 weeks. Got the Cobra bat. And I'm so glad now, that I have about 4 or 5 of the 25th anniversary bats, and I like them. I still have one back here with the Crimson Twins. And I love the bat. I've always liked them. I never had any as a kid. I always wanted them. So I think that's one of the reasons I've always wanted to army build them. And I'm glad to see that they, we're getting a 2026 update, because that 25th anniversary one is pretty old now. And although it's still good, it's still pretty good. It lacks, the rocker ankle. These Hiya come with the kind of a butterfly joint, thigh swivel, bicep swivel. They just brought up to 2026 standards. So really glad I held off on buying any more 25th anniversary stuff, because I was hoping Hiya to come through and do some of these other characters. Here we go with the backpack. He's got the different arms. Looks like he comes with just a pistol, but of course he's got the different arm attachments and the backpack. He also has the shield, or is it a shield? A cover? It's like a cover for his robot parts. You can see here it's opened up. Here it's covered. Very cool. Very good. Black and yellow. You know exactly what this is. I've got my bat poster up there. I've always loved the bat. Yeah, bat looks nice. Bat looks nice. I just ordered 2 of those bats to go with my 25th anniversary. Yeah, and they're probably a great mix and match. I imagine these guys might be a little bit taller, but it won't. The robots, that's good to have a little variation. Maybe this is the 2.0, like robots do, or like computers are. I haven't ordered this yet. I really want to. And I'm going to. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger yet. I was waiting for LT Cave, for them to pop up on LT Cave. I know they're on Cool Toys right now. I just don't know. I might only be able to get 2. I usually like army build these guys, and I would like to this time too. But I don't know if I can this time. Nice colors and accessories. Yeah, this is exactly what it should be. The colors, the backpack, the arm attachments. This is it. They did it. I guess maybe if, I don't know, because this guy's always had a nice wash on his metal parts. He's not shiny like C-3PO. He's always been kind of dirty, but he's not like dirty, but the metal that they use for him is not shiny, except maybe the mask. but no, this looks perfect to me. For for what he is, all the versions, how he looks in my mind. This is him. This is how he looks. And at first, I was gonna say he comes with just the right stuff here. Obviously, that cover comes off. He only has the pistol, but because he's got the blowtorch, he's got the laser on the hand, he's got the grabbing claw, so he's got it all. Comes with the stand, got the backpack. He is only 4 inches, so he's not as tall as some of them. I think a lot of them were 4.1, and then some of the bigger guys were like 4.3, right? 4.2, 4.3. So he's right in line. I'm probably gonna grab one or two of these. I just haven't been able to do it yet. I'm hoping LT Cave will come through because I got a little bit of credit with them. So I just haven't seen it go up on their page yet. But I have been looking. It's like a matte gunmetal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's matte. It's not supposed to be shiny, I think, except maybe the mask. But I guess if you're in battle, none of it makes sense. But if you're in battle, you wouldn't want to be reflecting off the light and stuff, even the light of the moon, right? So it makes sense that it would be matte. And it looks like they did a really good job with it too. It does look like metal. They did a really good, nice wash on it. Even the 25th anniversary one does have a really nice wash too, on the arms and the parts, the arm parts. But yeah, I like it. It looks good. This is one that I want to pick up. Hopefully, I will be able to. Just got to try to find the best price. I think I actually got an email too from smalljoes.com saying that they were taking pre-orders too. But I didn't go there to check the price, and I know usually they are a little bit more on the American or on their site because of the markup. So I found LT Cave is the best price wise. All right, so the bat, he is going to be in our collections. I didn't grab the actual thing, but I think it was 27. I think they said first quarter 27. I might be wrong. Someone can correct me. But I don't think we're going to be seeing this guy this year, like all the highest stuff, right? It usually takes a little bit of time. They're not as fast as some of the other guys. All right, so that's the bat. That's a good one. And then we got this guy. And I had mentioned when we talked last show about the other Python Patrol guys, this was exactly what I expected the next Python Patrol figure to be. This is the Crimson Guard Buck. This is Crimson Guard version, but just done in Python Patrol colors. And it makes perfect sense because they already have it. It's a repaint, but it fits in with the story. It fits in with the history of G.I. Joe. I should have put the slide that I had last time of all the different Python Patrol figures, but if I remember correctly, there's only a couple left now, and we haven't got them in their regular versions yet. And that is the Data Viper? What's his name? The Viper that had the mask with the antennas. I forget his name now. Him and the leader. I always forgot his name now. I just read his comic book. He tries a swamp speeder. The moccasin. Anyways, we haven't gotten them yet in the regular version, so I'd be really surprised if they came out with them first as Python Patrol. The recipe has been do the normal version, do the standard version, come back, do a repaint for Python Patrol or Tiger Force. So I'm guessing this is probably the last Python Patrol figure we're going to see until they do the regular versions of those other two guys. But you can now, Copperhead, there you go, thank you, yeah. So I would imagine we'd get a regular version Copperhead, and then they will solicit for the Python Patrol Copperhead. And same thing with that other Viper that I can't remember his name of. But this looks pretty good. I think this is probably the best army builder that they've done, this Buck. Copperhead, Televiper, that's what I said. What I said, Data Viper. Didn't I say Data Viper? Yeah, Televiper. So I would assume we'd get a Televiper regular version. Then they'll come through and they'll go, hey, here's a Python Patrol Televiper. Here's Copperhead. Here's Python Patrol Copperhead. That's what seems to be the recipe. So I think they're probably good on Python Patrol until we get those regular versions. But maybe they'll do it the other way. Maybe they'll. Maybe I'm wrong. But this was exactly what I expected the next Python Patrol figure to be. I think this is the best of the bunch. The red one, I think, is probably the best army builder. I think so. He moves so much more fluid than the other figures. He's smoother. I guess the only problem is, see how he's holding the scabbard for the sword. That's like one of the big problems with this figure, though, is they don't give anywhere to put the scabbard. Like, you can't attach it to his leg or his backpack, and it's big, and there's like no reason for him to hold it. But there's nowhere to put it. That was probably the only flaw I really saw in the figure. Otherwise, it worked great. The butterfly joints worked on it better than anybody else, I think, because of the design of how he's cut here. There's no armor like layer over the top that hindered the butterfly joint here. And he comes with everything you need. And he looks really good in these colors. I typically don't like yellow, but this looks good. This looks good. So I passed on the other Python Patrol stuff. I'm passing on this one too. It's just another army build that I don't think I can get into right now. Right now. So, but there you got three options. You very easily, very quickly now could pre-order a whole Python Patrol army, which is nice. It's nice. If maybe Python Patrol was your thing when you were a kid. I mentioned I didn't have any when I was a kid. I knew what they were. I liked them, but I wasn't able to get any. But maybe that was your thing, and maybe you had an army of them back then and you want an army of them now, and here's your chance. 2026 or 2027. Python Patrol, yeah. Yeah, the colors do nothing for you. Okay. Yeah, I like them. I like them. I think they did a good job. I especially like the helmet. Let's see if I can go back one. I especially like the helmet, I think. It almost looks like Cylon, or I'm not sure, yeah, like Cylon maybe, with because of the slit of the red there. I like the design. I've always liked the design of these guys, of the Crimson Guard. And someone mentioned this in one of the live streams. It's like stuck in my head now. I kind of see the Crimson Guard now as like not the Secret Service, but like as the protection of the hierarchy of Colburn now, because of their more uniforms, more of a dress uniform, but they're heavily armed. They're paramilitary. That's kind of in my mind now that's them. The helmet does look good. It's the yellow I'm not digging. Yeah, I understand. Okay, this one I almost forgot. I almost forgot. I came back and threw it in here, right in the middle of my plan here to talk tonight. So we got a couple Acid Rain figures. I know these aren't for everyone. I did just get some very big Acid Rain Toys Alliance items in my last haul. Please check it out if you haven't seen it. Tiger Force, Python Patrol, always found them as horrible cash grabs. Yeah, it's really what they were, right? That's really what they were. I never had any as a kid, though. And, those were some of at least the Python Patrol ones. If you watch the old Deke cartoon, they're introduced in like the first 2 or 3 episodes. Those are like the best 2 or 3 episodes in the whole Deke cartoon run. There's like 1 or 2 other ones out of 40 that are good, but even in the cartoon, you could tell it's like a total cash grab, because they're like, "Oh, just take this ship or this airplane and just paint it. There you go. And now it's this," and then they could resell it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's Timbo's mom. Sophie Nightstock. Yeah, so Sophie Nightstock, Bucks team, female Bucks team member, new Acid Rain figure. Uh, just announced this, what, last week? Yeah, I think it was just last week. So she looks pretty good. She looks pretty good. I have been collecting the Bucks team. The only reason I'm considering this figure is because she's from the Bucks team. And I have been kind of building up the Bucks team. I'm still a couple short of a full team. I'm still missing the sniper. I'm missing a couple guys from the Bucks team, but I do have the Bucks and Kylo, and I think 4 or 5 Bucks team members. I pre-ordered her and already wrote her background story for me. Oh, cool, cool. I really love how she looks. Yeah, out of the 3 Acid Rain things we're about to look at, she's the one I want the most. I put her in my cart on Pia Club, and just to see what she was going to cost and everything. And in the end, I feel like I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't check out right now. I'm not sure if she's going to sell out. She might. But I just couldn't do it right now. I want to. I think I'm probably going to end up getting her. But just not right now. I am familiar with this weapon here. It's a bit oversized, but it does fold up and like fit on her back. She's got some nice soft goods here. You can see how big the gun is. There it is, folded up. She can look right down the barrel. That's how you know they've got good butterfly joints. She can actually look down the scope. She can actually look down the sights of her weapon. Not a lot of line figures can do that. Figures in other lines. Acid Rain does do that. I do think I still think they're the best there is when it comes to articulation and paint. But it's an aesthetic thing. Some people just don't like them. Sometimes it's just the price, right? It's just the price. I pulled this one. There was a lot of other photos, but beautiful looking face, guys. That is so nice. And these figures really do look like this when you get them in hand. This is not a Photoshop. This is usually a Toys Alliance pretty. They show you something. It's what you're going to get. You don't have to worry about them doing the old switcheroo on you. But that is a really, really nice looking face. Oddly enough, she's cheaper for us Canadians. That's a first. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, they wanted on Pia Club, they wanted, I think, $18 for shipping for one figure. So it brought her total to about $60. I just couldn't do it. I was like, man, I want her, but not for that much. She actually looks proportioned. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not sure totally what her buck is here. I know I didn't pull the photo. Kit Lau, I think it was Kit, had done a picture of her kind of in a crouch mode, like a crouch position. Because I had seen some people, you can see it more on the next figure. They don't like that waist, how it's a kind of a fold or hinge. Doesn't bother me that much, and I don't really see it on her. In fact, I'm not sure it's there, but you can definitely see it on the next figure. But there she is, guys. Not a lot here, but just enough. She does have the soft goods. She is wearing that mask right there that does come off. So there's a couple other parts here that they're not laid out here on the floor here in front of her. But man, what a nice looking face. Isn't that? I mean, that is so good. They probably, like I said, though this is not a real person, or at least I don't know that it is. And the Hasbro's using the face print technology, and we know the actors and actresses who play a lot of those roles. This has got to be right up there with the best of them. Yeah, she's 51 with shipping for us. Yeah, she was like 60 and change for me when I put her in the cart and tried to check out. Like 18 something shipping. I was like, wow, I don't think I can do it right now. I want to, but I just can't. I'm not crazy about the hinged waist, but she looks good. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I was hearing people talk about that hinged waist, which is much more noticeable in this figure right there. So this is the EOS Hussar. I do have a couple of these EOS. I have the Destroyer set. It was the 2-pack of girls. and something else, a few others. But this one was a pass for me. This one I was like, I don't need this one. I'm not feeling FOMO on this one. She's very cool looking. I like the colors, but this one was a pass for me. But she does look pretty good. I thought these female bodies were perfect with the Annex ladies. Don't love the addition of an ab crunch, but I'll still get her. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think this. I definitely want this one, but not so much this one. But she does look really good. Um, See, I'm just not thrilled about. And maybe it's because this it's skin tone here, so it's you can't really hide it like you could with this one. If it's the same, I can't tell. Is that the same buck? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. It's just well hidden because she's got this black bodysuit on, so it's just not noticeable. It just looks like part of the suit. But here you can't really hide it, you know. So I'm not crazy about how that looks. Her I don't like, especially with the unmasking helmet. Yeah, and they, we'll get down to that picture. They didn't give her an unmasked head. You know, they gave her this helmeted head, and they gave her a fully covered mask. And the eyes look like they're painted. It looks, you could tell it's a female, just from the face if you couldn't see the body. But I'm just not thrilled about how she looks. And I'm not thrilled about the helmet either. I don't really like this helmet. There was a couple other figures I never got. I don't think I got them that used this type of a helmet. And you can see here, she doesn't come with much. Obviously, this helmet comes off because we saw it in that other picture there that she does have that, that's what they're trying to show us there. Couple hands. So not a lot here for the both of the figures. But this one was definitely a pass for me. Ab crunches really stand out to me. It's like first thing my eye is drawn to whenever I see a 6-inch figure distract me. Yeah, and that's like the old school like Mattel DC crunch, and I think Mattel still uses it on their wrestling figures, and I think maybe even Marvel Legends right uses that crunch like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like what Eagle Force and the Vintage Collection are doing, or even the Skeletron figures, where it's that ball joint in there, and it's a swivel. You don't get quite as a folding crunch, but it's enough. It's enough, and aesthetically it looks good. This you get more of a crunch probably, but aesthetically it doesn't look good. But you could see how it was so much better hidden here because of the suit. And was it Bjorn? I think you mentioned this last time. It's really hard when it's flesh tone to hide articulation. So even when they have, something in the elbow or open knees and stuff, it's kind of hard to hide it. So much better hidden when it's under clothes, under armor, under a secondary or an overlay or something. But she was definitely a pass for me. Seen these weapons before, I believe. Definitely this one. So not a lot here, but still good figure. And I feel like Acid Rain, they've been staying a little more consistent this year than last year, because we've already had at least 3 other figures, right? That the all black one and kind of the 2 guys that went with him, and then these 2. So that's at least 5 figures. And then we're going to go on here. I put this shot here at the end because there is a vehicle as well. So they're pumping out a lot more stuff, or at least they're putting out a lot more stuff at 118 again this year. It feels like it's kind of getting back to normal after a kind of a slow year last year for them. Having a ball joint lower waist and a ball jointed upper ab looks better than a hinge. Yeah, I agree. But this vehicle looks pretty good. Looks fun. It looks like it transforms a bit. It's a bit of a convertible kind of. Comes with the 2 kind of almost look like Gatling guns without the turn, the wind up. But it also stands up on 2 legs, so kind of like a walker, a rolling walker, if that's such a thing. Guns look like they pivot. This was $45, I think, on Pia Club. You You can see here, I guess you don't have to, obviously you don't have to go all the way up. You can kind of half go up, looks like here. So this thing articulates pretty well. It's 45 bucks. It's just a few dollars more than one of the figures. But you can see here, there's not much to it. Two guns that fit in these cylinders here. And then it transforms and that's it. So not much more. I think it's only $4 or $5 more than a figure that they're charging for these other figures. And I like it. I like it. I think I would get it if I could. If I could just get everything, I would get this. It looks like it would fit with one of my Ankylos or those other the EOS Destroyer 2-pack that I have because of the color scheme. But this was a pass for me. This was a pass for me. I might just like the Bucks girl. I might get it, but I don't know. I've slowed down a bit here. I did notice it had, I think it's called the Velociraptor, not the Velociraptor. What was it called? I wrote it down. The Veloraptor Speeder, and you can see it looks like it's got a little dinosaur painted on there. Maybe the skeleton of a dinosaur, fossil of a dinosaur. But very cool, very cool. And it's nice. It's a mid-size vehicle, kind of like the Wing Flux, a $45 vehicle. I wish Vintage Collection would do $45 vehicles, instead of $500 vehicles, which seems like that's pretty much the HasLabs, what they've been doing. We haven't really gotten many vehicles. Like we've got the Creature 2-packs, but no real vehicles in Star Wars for a while. But this price point, I think, is reasonable. It's reasonable at $45. It's reasonable. Be nice if it was $45 with a figure. That's not how Acid Rain does things. And Vintage Collection doesn't either a lot of times. It's a cool little vehicle. I have the original one from 2014. They also did a version in 17 and 18. Okay. So it's just a new paint version or a new group. The EOS guys got one now too. But I think 45 is reasonable for a small vehicle like this. And again, that's paint. I think you can get articulates. It is a 118. This is a 118 line, so your 375 is going to fit in there just fine. But cool looking vehicle. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe you'll see it in one of my haul videos. I don't know. I'm tempted. I also put it in my basket to see what that Bucks girl and this would cost, and it was way too much. So I was like, well, I can't do 60 for the girl. There's no way I'm going to do this for the vehicle and her. The previous releases all came from a figure, actually. Surprising this one didn't. Oh, okay. I suppose they wanted to keep the price lower. Yeah, none of the vehicles that I've got from them have had figures. I got the two Ankylos. They didn't come with a figure. I guess though the Bucks one did come with one of those rolly droids. But these two, the Wing Flux and the Vorothlander, those didn't come with figures. So I've not gotten a Toys Alliance vehicle that had a figure with it. But the Dims, they did the Dims thing I'm looking at over here. It did come with one. So maybe they pick and choose how they, when they do that. Okay. All right. This next piece of news, Bjorn actually sent me these pictures, and Jeff sent me a video. That JE from Chicken Fried Toys, I guess the DFW show just happened. The Dallas Fort Worth Toy Show just happened a week or two ago, and a couple of the independent toy makers were out there, and these came from that show. I don't know the total context to all of them. I couldn't, besides the video Jeff sent me, I didn't see any videos anywhere else, and the pictures Bjorn sent me that we're going to look at here, I didn't find anywhere else. So I don't know the full context of them. So chime in, guys. If this is a news show to get the information out there that hopefully, we'll like something and we'll buy something and we'll help these guys out. We'll fulfill that itch that we have of collecting. and it's a circle of love here. So I did see this. This was the first picture I pulled here because I did see he mentioned that they did this for fun, that this isn't an actual figure. They're not going to be making this in Deadpool colors. They did it for shits and giggles, but I think it's he is though pointing out that they have all the parts for this figure. Um, Not that we'll get it in these colors, but if you wanted to create this figure, you could. And I noticed that these arms, because I was like, where do these arms come from? We'll see these arms later on Buttons McBoom Boom. So there's a lot of new stuff, I think, on this guy. Um, but even just this figure, if he was just in cowboy colors, would be awesome. Um, but there you go, Deadpool cowboy. Looks pretty awesome. And there he is as almost like a test shot, though he's not, right? Or maybe he is, but he's not going to be in those colors. And then we've got this girl. I think she maybe goes with this guy who is the father, the priest. I'm not sure if this is this part of the Weird Western Tales. Maybe this is like a demonic woman, or maybe not. I see this. This looks, and how her hands are, look like she's scary. Like she's gonna be like a ghost or something. I don't really know. We really don't have anything like this at 118. I mean, that's this whole line, Western line. I can't really think of any Western lines out there at any scale. So all of these things are very unique to not just Chicken Fried Toys, but I think to 118375 in general. He's a good bits for potential customs. That priest. Oh, he's a priest. Yeah. What did I call him? Did I say priest? I said father. I said I don't know. I think he isn't he he does, what do they call that? The things where they get the demons out of you. I should know. I should know. Um anyways. But we got the priest here. I think she's like a demon or a ghost. Maybe she's just a lady in waiting. I don't know. Doesn't look like she has shoes on. That's why I thought maybe she's a ghost. Maybe she's a ghost, or that's a ghostly woman that's levitating. Oh, she is levitating. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Weird Western Tales. Yeah, so this is like a exorcist. There you go. That's the word. Thank you. But yeah, it looks like he's got like stuff for a seance or something here. I think that's in the next slide. Oh, my mouse. Oh no, my mouse. My mouse was dying on me. Here's some of the items he comes with. It looks like maybe that's a Bible that closes, but he's got two little pistols in it, which I like. He's got the cross there. Looks like obviously all Chicken Fried Toy stuff comes with the stand. So this one looks fun. I really like the accessories. I like this guy. I like him. Nice looking toy. Pit Viper 327. Welcome. They're calling him the Parson. He's the first figure on a taller body. You're right. That's what he mentioned. This is the taller buck. And he said something in the video like having this buck, opens up options for other characters, taller guys. That's exactly it, Jeff. Yeah. Weird and Western 2-pack and Exorcist. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. I want those Derringers. Yeah, that's what I want too. These accessories here are enough almost to get me to get this figure. I could see a lot using these for a lot of couple, photos and just having little setups. I love little accessories like this, and they look like they're painted pretty well. And you're just not gonna find this kind of stuff at 375. You're just not gonna find it. There's not a lot of people doing this kind of stuff. She's La Lorna, the Weeping Woman, a famous ghost from Hispanic and Mexican folklore. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I wonder if she'll be like all white, maybe as a ghost, or will she be all black with like white skin, like white ghostly skin? It's interesting, and I'll be the first one. I'm sure some of you remember. You guys have been here for a long time. I kind of said, why is chicken fried, yeah, why are they doing these females that like are in dresses? Like who really wants that kind of stuff? Here is the perfect application for it. Here's the exactly why you need it. Um, so I was wrong, and I'll admit it. These aren't like, I wouldn't think of a woman in Western clothes or Western dress would be like something that I would be like, oh yeah, I want that. But it makes perfect sense here. And now they have this female buck, right? And it's one of the things that when you look at, Eagle Force or the Skeletron guys, um, even Ed Helmensing, there's no females. Here you go. Now we have a 118 female. Um, and because, you could pop and swap a lot of these parts and pieces and stuff, it has more legs to walk on than I first kind of dogged them about. So I admit that. And that was probably like a year ago, I think, or at least last yeah, it had to have been last year when I was like, why does he want to do these females and these barmaids and these women of the night, Western prostitutes? Like, why? But it makes sense now. It does. It makes sense. Um, Lalorna can be ghostly white or black, but people fear her more in black. Okay, that's cool. I did not know that. I'm not up to date on Lalorna. La Lordana. La Lordana. There you go. Didn't even say that right. Oh, well, you guys both spelt it different. La Lorana and La Lordana. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out eventually. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Here, now we're getting to the real good stuff here. Buttons McBoom Boom. And these are those arms that I was mentioning earlier on that Deadpool cowboy. That same piece there, which I think are new um, to the line. I don't think he had these before, but now he has them. Hey, let's use them. And there they are. And this guy looks great, man. This guy looks great. I don't have anything like this in my collection. Definitely want this. Um, Very nice. We've seen the unpainted versions of these guys and pretty pictures of them before. This is our first time, I think, really seeing them. This is what I'm going to expect to get when I purchase these. The two L's make a Y sound. Typo. Oh, okay. So the first one was right. But yeah, this guy looks great, doesn't he? Doesn't this guy looks great? This is one I want. This is one I definitely want. Um, I love I love the guitar case. Again, I see that guitar case and I'm like, that would go perfect with my Johnny Cash over there. Um, if you were making an El Mariachi, a mariachi from the movies, the Antonio Banderas, you need one of those. Um, Anytime you have someone, if you're like a street setup in your world, like someone busking, I'm assuming, I don't know, that guitar case opens and you see people throw money in it on the street, like in real life. So I'm guessing that opens and those guns go in there. I don't know that for sure, um, but just as an accessory piece, I want that stuff. I want that. It looks like he has a removable hat. Looks really good. Looks really good. The colors are the colors. It's not throwing me off. It, it looks really good. So this is a pickup for me. Um, as soon as I can, as soon as it's ready. I was just thinking El Mariachi. Yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie. I've seen the second one too. Um, but yeah, that's a good one. That was a fun one. Um, and then I guess this guy's named Roadblock. I had trouble finding this guy. I thought it looked like Kurt Russell to me. It looked like Kurt Russell to me. But I believe his name is Roadblock. They show him with two different pant versions. So I'm not sure what is going to be the final one, or if there'll be two, or if he's doing feedback or he hasn't decided, or I'm not really sure. But you could see here it is the same figure with just different lower below the knee, I think. Maybe the whole leg is, yeah, maybe the whole leg is different. So new legs, and then sleeves. So I'm not sure which version is the version we're gonna get, or if they're both. There's gonna be two versions of this guy. Don't really know. Was just thinking I'm definitely inspired by him. But again, this looks like a pickup for me. This looks like a pickup for me. Either one, I think I'd be happy with either one. And I'm not sure which one I like better. I like them both. The more I look at them, and I kind of like this one. I like the rolled up sleeve, I think. I think I like the rolled up sleeves. I don't know. I don't know which one you guys like better. But very cool. Very cool that we're finally getting to see these. He did say that these are the next two that will be up for pre-order. But, you know, kind of like the highest stuff, this has got to be like 27 at the earliest, I would imagine. And I would think late 27, if even so. There's a lot of stuff he has ahead of this that should be out. The horse Kickstarter stuff, along with some other pre-orders that he's had up on his page. This is Dime Novel Legends. I'm saying him, but Dime Novel Legends Chicken Fried Toys has had on their website for a while. But you know, maybe demand for these would push these to the front of the line. Definitely like these. Definitely like these. Love how they look. I think he's Leadfoot, previously named Roadblock. J.E. is still thinking which version. Two types of pants and boots, long sleeves versus short sleeve, regular gloves versus open fingered. Okay, so he's still trying to decide. The flared pants and white gator boots seem to be the favorite from the comments. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I like them both. I don't know. I'll take either one. But yeah, they look really good. Really good. Here is, I think, the accessories that Leadfoot / Roadblock's going to come with. We got what looks like a 357 Magnum. Looks like he packed his lunch for work. He's got maybe a coffee cup and a clipboard. So just what you need to fight crime in the future. Got to have clipboard. I like both. Yeah, I like both too. That's what I mean. If I had to pick, I don't really know which one I would. I think I do like these boots better, but I like the cuffs here. I don't know. And I have no connection to the original one, so I don't know how the original one looked. I'm just going basically off of what I see here. But there you go. He's got his lunch. He's got his coffee. He's got his revolver and a clipboard. Looks good. This one looks really fun. What do you think of this one, Pirates? This is and Jeff, right? This is your guys's. I don't know. You guys still have Mounties, right? It's not ceremonial. These guys guard the border in real life, don't they? I just remember in the movie Untouchables, the Elliot Ness and his team teamed up with the Mounties to take down the bootleggers, Al Capone bootleggers, that one border. It was a really fun scene in that movie. But I don't know, are they ceremonial, or are these guys, they still actually are doing their thing? But this looks really cool. Love the hat. Love how he looks. This would be a cool, army build, or this would be a cool with the horses. This would be cool to get several of these guys. Yeah, Mounties are the RCMPs, which are like our FBI. Oh, really? Okay. I know exactly what the FBI is. Okay, that's cool. So they have undercovers then, obviously, too. So this is like their ceremonial dress, or when they're out. I don't know, because the FBI doesn't really have a uniform, unless they put on the armor that says, like the bulletproof vests and vest things that say FBI, so that that's FBI. Because otherwise, they're just like plainclothes cops. But yes, also work as the equivalent of your state police. Okay, there you go. State police, yeah. Some provinces. Yeah, but this figure looks really good, guys. This figure looks really good. Um, got the mustache, got everything going on here. Like he should. These guys they do the leather quite well. You know they should, right? In Old West, the leather was everywhere. It's kind of the thing. Um, but the buckles, the buttons, everything, it looks really good. This looks like a really good figure. Um, Mounties, yeah. They started as frontier mounted police in the West with uniforms like this, but now they're just ceremonial. Okay. Okay. Yeah, these are cool, man. These are cool. I like the uniform. I do like the uniform. Um, very iconic. Like you know what this is. Whatever country you're in, I think you know what this is when it's one of those guys. Um, very cool. Very cool. I do want this one, but we'll see. Here's the Vigilante. I do have this one on pre-order. The Vigilante, not the Lone Ranger. But here he is. Here he is. I did pre-order this guy already. So I am waiting on this one. Hopefully eventually we get it. Have seen this before, but every time I see it, I go, yep, I want that. I need that. Looks pretty good though. Looks pretty good. Love the hat. All these parts and pieces too, they work really good with Vintage Collection. The handkerchief, the hat. You could take these holsters off. All these parts and pieces. It's one of the reasons I love the scale. I'm wondering with this one. I know some of the first figures. This was actually for show. The pistol wouldn't go in there, but then I saw later versions of figures. Some of them it was a working holster. I think he's got to hold working holsters now, so I'm not sure if this one is or isn't. But they look good. They look good. This looks good. As a Canadian, I need that Mountie. Yeah, I want the totally not Lone Ranger. Yeah, me too. I'm glad I pre-ordered this one. I already paid for it, put it away. Don't have to worry about it. But is this also going to be a 27 figure? Is this going to be, how much longer? He's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot on his plate. But he has a lot of good products, so that's good. Hopefully the sales are up for him so he can push some of this through. We'll see. We'll see. And I saw here in this picture that looks like the Splinter Cell head. And I thought there was a picture of some of the other heads. I don't have that picture. And then there's this guy. And is this guy an exclusive? I thought I heard him say that there was going to be an exclusive. And I thought that might be who this was, but I wasn't quite sure the context of this picture. But you can see there he is. He's a Union soldier. He's got the U.S. buckle. A lot of this looks familiar to me. Head looks new, I think, or maybe it's a new head, a new bean. Doesn't call them beans. With a different helmet or a different hat that has the sort of the neck cover. Again, it looks like it's one of those faux holsters. I'm not sure, but good looking figure. Good looking figure. This figure is the 20s. Okay, this is the 2026. This was at DFW then, and will also be at Joe Fest. Looks like the Metal Gear Solid to me. Yeah, is that who that is? Or Splinter Cell? Or because the Michael Biehn head, there was a couple other heads, but I don't think I got that photo. In fact, I think this is the last photo that I had of the Chicken Fried Toy stuff. But this looks pretty good. I've never able to get any of the Union soldiers. Been wanting to get them a couple times. I never did. I wanted the not Custer one, and then I think he sold out, and then he came back, and just never was able to get any. And at this point, I have, besides the Kickstarter, I think I have at least 3 other figures. The Texas Ranger, the Vigilante, and the Ron Rudat. So I do. I have the Kickstarter and I have 3 other figures already pre-ordered. So I don't know if I'll be pre-ordering any more, which I know is kind of how it works, especially for this guy or for Chicken Fried Toys, because he needs to see the numbers. But it's hard to keep ordering stuff without it being fulfilled. You know what I mean? So I might, if he puts up the Mountie, if he puts up the Cops and Crook guys, I'm definitely gonna put in the order for those. But the other guys, the Mountie, if this guy it becomes available, I probably will wait. I'll probably wait until I get some of the fulfillment from one of the other ones. So I can't just keep throwing money at it without, something, getting something back. Solid Snake. That's Michael Biehn from Terminator, which Metal Gear copied. Okay. Yeah. So he's got a lot of good stuff in the works. I'm happy to see the Cops and Crooks stuff. Like I said, I probably, if it all depends on what he puts up for pre-order. But I'm pretty much holding off now. But I think anything Cops and Crooks I'll pre-order. But anything else I'm probably going to hold off until I get something from the Kickstarter or any of those other guys that I've ordered, the Ron Rudat, the Vigilante, or the Texas Ranger. Yeah, like Haya. Yeah, just like Haya. Yeah. And I've got enough Haya stuff pre-ordered as well. Okay. So the last thing this was the last slide, I think. He's already showing us coming in 27, Lano Boombato. I think that's how you say this guy's name. Very cool looking figure. Looks a lot like the Cops and Crooks. Is it Marshall? I forgot his name now. That we've gotten. I like the paint colors on this guy though, and I've noticed he's got laser guns. It looks like laser guns. So I'm not sure if this is Weird Western Tales or this is just an exclusive. I don't know. But it's not till next year. I think I would grab this one. I think I would. I like this one. I like how this looks. Sundown. There you go. Sundown. That's who it was. Yeah. It looks like the same exact figure, just different paint, and it completely changes how he looks. Bare arms, the blue on red. He's got the chaps. Very cool looking figure. Very cool. I noticed no hat. No hat for this guy. That's okay. That's okay. But very cool. So I guess, next year, you guys that go to the shows will have first dibs at grabbing this guy. I hope there's one left for me. It's a show exclusive under the... Oh, it is a Weird Western. Okay. Yeah, because he's got like laser guns. The one I got, I repainted to look similar. Had a Kurt Russell head. All right, cool. The 2 big retro blasters are fun. I'm going to need someone to grab this one for me at the show. That's what I'm thinking too. I think this is a good one. The smart repaint. Another smart repaint of a good looking figure. But we don't have to worry about this one till next year. But if he's saying it's going to be a show exclusive, that means it's got to be pretty close to production already if he's going to have it in time. I guess, though, he has about one. He still has a year, right? He still has a year. He has till next June to have these in hand, to have him at Joe Fest and DFW and wherever else he goes. But very cool looking figure. Thank you, Bjorn. Thank you, Jeff, for sending this stuff over so I could... I did not see this stuff. I did not find it anywhere except for what you sent me. So thank you for that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Where are we going now? Okay. Since we're talking exclusives, let's talk a little bit exclusives for this year. Level 7 Toys. I forget his name now. But we'll call him Level 7. he has announced that he has here. What's he calling this guy? He's calling this guy the Boy Scout. He's the Boy Scout. Um, last year we got the not Batman, the detective. This year we're getting the Boy Scout, and I think last year that detective was probably my figure of the year. I didn't do a figure of the year video. I did do a live stream where I talked about my favorites, and I think that figure was probably my favorite, and I think is the best not Batman figure that there is right now at the scale. So I'm guessing that this one builds on that buck, and this is probably going to be the best not Superman figure at the scale. This one, I believe, will be at Joe Fest, and he looks great, man. He looks great. Soft goods were really good on the detective. I like the accessories that this one comes with. I love the green chain, extra hands. I forgot what is a projector. He mentioned what this was, some kind of projector, and you got your card friendly or your collector friendly card back packaging. The laser gun should be one from the little green alien. Oh yeah, you're right. It is that gun, huh? You're welcome, honey. I'm not your honey. I want him. Dennis. That's what it was. It was Dennis. Yes. Can someone who's going to Joe Fest grab him for me? I'll send you the money. Yeah, I'm Pirates. I'm in the same boat because I want this guy. This guy looks fantastic. He looks great. He looks great. And the buck. These are very posable, playable figures. He's got all the articulation you need. I love the chain. I think that was a really good. I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have thought of the chain. But very cool. Very cool. Add some value to the figure because it looks like it's a nice long chain. Looks like it's a nice long chain. And here he is with all of his items here. He's got some flying hands. Got to have fists. Got to punch people out. Got the waving hand flag or hand salute hands. Superman is my all-time favorite character. Oh, really? Didn't know that. And then here he has some in a bucket here, and I noticed this one here is the detective. This is the one that I got last year, and I think I can't remember my versions of Batman, but this bat symbol's like one of the newer bat symbols. So this is the one I got last year over here on this side, and it looks like he's got a newer version or a new bat emblem for a different version of the detective, for a different version of the detective. Phantom projector. I think that is what it is. What did I call it? He says in the description. I forgot to write it down. Probably a Phantom Zone projector with the Boy Scout. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is what that is. So Zod, all those guys are trapped in there, right? Isn't that how that works? Or you could see into it. I forget how that works. But basically, it looks like if you wanted that detective from last year, it looks like you're be able to get it with just a different bat symbol, because it does look like the same buck and everything, just a different bat symbol. So looks like he might have that one there as well. The newest Batman. Yeah, I think it is the newest one. Yeah, I forgot what they're calling that Batman. It's not the New 52 or the All In. I forgot what the DC is doing right now. All In? I think it's All In. It's the All In Batman. Or I was just at the comic book store, but I didn't get anything. I got a Thundercats. I got a couple other things. I didn't get any DC. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then there they are. So, and we talked about this when we talked about Boris Ping last time. This guy Dennis does them himself. Each one prints them, puts them together. I think his wife might help him. So, independent toy maker. The definition of an independent toy maker. But this stuff is good. This stuff is so good. Like I said, I think my figure of the year last year. And then he teased this one. And he says here, probably an online pre Joe Fest Level 7 exclusive. So, Green Lantern. I'm guessing that's Hal Jordan. Um, I guess it could be any of the other ones. It's hard to see. You can only see his chin there, his nose. Um, and maybe this one will be available online before the show. Um, I think I'll grab this one too if I can. If I can. I don't know what they're going to be. I know they're a little bit on the expensive side. I do think that they're worth it though. And I probably will grab this one. But it was a nice tease here. Any ideas what he'll name this one? What would he call this one? If the detective is Batman, the schoolboy, is that what he was? The schoolboy was Superman, or the Boy Scout was Superman. What would he call this one? I don't know. I don't know, but I would definitely try to get this if it comes out. It looks like this one's going to be available online, so anyone, you don't have to go to the show to get this one. The projector opens a portal to the Phantom Zone. Got it. Got it. So yeah, this one looks pretty good, guys. This one looks pretty good. Again, he's building on that same buck. I can vouch for this buck. This buck is about as good as they come. About as good as they come at 118. Double hinged elbows, ab crunch. Everything. It's got everything you need here. And it looks like, he's using that buck for these other superheroes, because these are superheroes. They got to be able to fly. They got to be able to fight. They've got to be able to get in the same pose as a ninja, as a Jedi. They've got to be able to do everything. So, Pickle Policeman. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Peacekeeper. Yeah, that's a good one too. He might call him the test pilot. I want that one too. The High Hal Jordan turned into John Stewart, so I want this one for my Hal Jordan. Yeah. So, there's a huge hole in 118.375 collecting right now. We've talked about it. There is no Marvel and there's really no DC. You can count the ZD Toys Marvel stuff if you want, but it's really not available, at least plentiful in the States or easy to get. And those are minimally articulated, but there's no DC and there's no Marvel right now. So I think if he keeps pushing out DC characters, or if he decides to do some Marvel stuff, I don't think he's going to have any problem moving these, because we don't have anything. No one is doing them right now, and it's a big hole in our collecting. All the other guys, the 6-inch guys, the 1/6 scale guys, the Mondo guys. Everybody has Marvel. Everybody has DC, but us. It's a shame. It's a shame. But it's nice that Dennis here is trying to fill that gap, and it's not cheap. But it's like I said, I feel it's worth it. I had no problems with that Batman, and I think it was probably my favorite figure last year. Okay, and for the last, oh no, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Eagle Force exclusive, Eagle Force Joe Fest exclusive. I think didn't on Wilhelm's show, Ed kind of said, "Oh, Eagle Force, I don't want to get ahead. He's gonna announce his own things," and then he did. Just a few days later, we got the Eagle Force Delta Red Blood Watch Elite, which is a repaint of the Delta Red, which is a really, really good figure. All the Eagle Force stuff is really good, but now they're going to have this exclusive at Joe Fest for you to pick up. Yeah, 118 is slowly fading. Yeah, never really been a big DC guy. Yeah, I've always been more of a Marvel guy, but I love Batman. I've always loved Batman. You like this one, Tech? Now that looks cool. Yeah, this is a good looking figure. I've got Delta Red. Got him right here. Actually, got a couple of them. This was one I had. He was like doing the spooky from the Michael Jackson Thriller. He's doing the, and then here's a different one I have here. But yeah, this is a really good figure. I gotta put these so they're not in the way. I put them right there. But this is a really good figure. It looks to be the same exact figure with the same exact accessories, just different colors. But the red and the black pops looks really good. I'm guessing, I think last year when I got Bob was nice enough to pick me up the Eagle Force exclusive last year, which was the Downtown Brown. He came in the just like the Liberty of Legions Legion stuff came in a bag with a like a card on the top. So I imagine these are going to come the same way, and that they could save a little on packaging and get this out to us. So very cool looking figure. I probably won't get this one because I did army build the Delta Red, and I don't think I need another one. But if you didn't get the Delta Red, now you can get this Bloodwatch Elite version. And I guess I don't know how the limits work when you're at the convention, but I'm sure you can probably at least get one, maybe two or three if you go on multiple days. And then whatever's left, they'll sell online after the show. I have the Delta Red also. Yeah, it's a good figure. I do like this figure, just wish it wasn't an army builder type. Yeah, the Downtown Brown last year. Superman and Batman were my DC go-tos, but I was mainly a Marvel guy. Iron Man, Spider-Man. Okay. I like the deco. Yeah, the deco on this guy's really cool. And he's got, all the Eagle Force stuff. He's come with so much stuff. I mean, there's at least 3 guys in this set here. But you're right, it is an army builder. It is an army builder. It's a cool repaint though. And I almost wonder if this was the regular version, and then the Delta Red that we got could have been the exclusive, because I kind of like black on red. Black on red always looks good. Or red on black, I should say. But I'm happy with what I got. I'm happy with what I got. Cool repaint. As an army builder, would probably sell out. Yeah. And maybe that's what they're going for, right? They want to sell out. They want to move the product. Good looking figure though. Good looking figure. You know what you're gonna get, with the Eagle Force stuff. Very cool. Very cool. I guess too, the weapons are a different color. So I'm looking at these guys here. Silver. This one came with the big rifle. It's brown. See some of the other ones I have. I have like 3 or 4 of them out. No, yeah. So yeah, maybe there's a rifle missing out of here, but it was a brown rifle. Maybe they've substituted for this smaller one. There's a little variation here. Not much though, not much, but a good looking figure. And of course, you guys going to the show have first dibs to grab this when you're there. And then real quick, brief, I'm going to talk about this because Delta 17 is going to have some exclusives at Joe Fest as well. These are modern O-rings, but good friends, Bob and Will, did a show with the creators of Delta 17 just yesterday. I did watch it last night, where they explain and they talk about the line. They talk about the exclusives. I think this big guy here is also going to be exclusive in this silver. And this is a 2-pack, so they're going to actually, I guess there's 2 exclusives at the show. You'll have first dibs on it. I do like the Delta 17 stuff, but I'm going to kind of leave it there. Watch Wilhelm's show. I think it's just about an hour. They explain, the design, how they did it, the background behind some of these guys. Very informative show, but I'm not going to talk too much more about it because you can go to their live stream and watch it. But they also are going to have an exclusive. And there was someone else today there was another exclusive I saw today, and I didn't have time to throw it in here. And I can't remember what it was now. But there's more exclusives, I'm sure, to come. But these were the ones that I was able to grab and pick up just in the last news bits I was able to pick up in just the last few days. Chrome Paint, which toy makers seem reluctant. Yeah, and in that live stream, they explain a lot about that. They explain how they did it, the process, and it was interesting. The manufacturing side, it was interesting. And those guys are very transparent to tell you about how they did it and you know, how it can be done. All right. So next segment. This is a new segment. We're gonna call it overtime because that was my last slide. But there are a couple things that I still want to talk about. You guys are still with me. We've been going for a while now. Thank you for staying. But right before we get to this segment, I want to talk a little bit about just a few things, and then we'll jump into this segment. This is overtime. It's going to be rapid fire, quick hits. I'm just going to talk about some things really quick, and we're going to wrap it up. But I want to go here first. All right, so let me turn on a light here. There's a couple things I wanted to show you guys before we get there. All right, got that light on. So I have been going to my local Ross, but I haven't been buying anything. And I finally pulled the trigger on something. And I ended up grabbing one of these for $6. You could see there they had Bert, Ernie, Oscar the Grouch, and they had Guy Smiley. They had like 3 or 4 of these, and I passed on them because I thought if I got Bert, then I need Ernie. If I get Ernie, I need Bert. Really, the only one that I want is Oscar the Grouch. So I was down there. They had 4 or 5 of them. I passed on them. I went back a week later. There was one left. I picked it up, and I said, I'm just going to roll the dice. I'm going to try to get it because I wanted Oscar the Grouch. And what do you know? I got Oscar the Grouch, guys. He came with Slimy. Slimy does come out. I ended up getting the Chase one. Out of all of them, I got the Chase one. So this is like almost like a glittered garbage can. You got Oscar. You got Slimy. You know, Slimy is the first worm to ever go to the moon and into outer space. But I wanted to show you guys that. I got the exact one I wanted. I would have taken this one or the other one for $6. Check your local Rosses. If you're interested, this guy's going to look good in my space station right next to the other garbage cans. And Slimy does pop out. And you can't just set him there in the garbage can. So I wanted to show you guys that. Just got that maybe 2 days ago. And then I mentioned earlier that I got the Devil's Bargain book, which I just started to read yesterday. Just got it. I'll be reading that. And then I also got this. And I told you guys I do collect these. I think I have one of these for every movie. I just got this. This does not have the movie. This is for seasons 1, 2, 3, and the Book of Boba Fett. The episodes that Mando's in the Book of Boba Fett, they're all included in this book. I love these books. This is a visual guide. It's got all the cool stuff. This one is available now on Amazon. So I did just get it. Still going through it. Love these books. Wanted to share that with you guys because there are other stuff that I get that is related to collecting, but it's not collecting, like these books. And this guy was just really cool, and I wanted to show him to you. So get Slimy, get Oscar the Grouch. And now back to the show. All right. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was only $6 too. $6. You know, $6 for a 5 POA figure. It's still 5 POA. But I didn't want one of them. I wanted this guy. I wanted him. So I got him. I'm so lucky. All right, that's cool. Oscar in his garbage can makes it a fun. It does. That's exactly what it is. Wish there was a Ross here in Canada. Great find. Oscar's the best character. I think so too. He's one of the funniest. All right, so again, overtime. We're going to go rapid right through this. We're going to talk about 1, 2, 3 things real quick. Rapid fire, quick hits. I'm going to go through them real quick. We'll come back. We'll talk about it and anything else you want to talk about. I just made this. I think this is actually a real picture of, Mercury. I think I picked Mercury. I went to NASA's website and pulled a photo off of their site. And there's that logo that I was telling you about. Jeff, shout out to Jeff. He helped me with this. He made this for me. This is my new Die Hard logo. All right, so let's get to it. Quick fire. Boom. Wanted to talk about this. 5K Toys. They on their Instagram page, they announced that they are going to be selling the Decala figures that I've been telling you guys about, been talking about. Patrick Chan has really been telling me about, then I've been telling you guys about it. Shout out to Patrick Chan on the Premium Hub. But looks like 5K Toys is going to have them. And not only are they going to have them, but it says here the whole team. They're going to have the whole team. As far as I know right now, Big Bad Toy Store is selling the team leader, and that's it. Gundammit has the team leader and the bad guy, the Griffin. These other three I have not been able to find anywhere for pre-order, but it looks like 5K Toys is going to have them. If you're interested, 5K Toys is a very reputable online store. I used them recently to buy the Monkey King monkey figures. Very good place to shop from. You know, they're very, very good company, ship well. I think decent prices, especially on some of this export stuff. But if you're interested in all, keep an eye on 5K Toys. I am going to be, even before this live stream, I checked to see if they were anywhere else. I still don't see any of these figures anywhere except for the one at Big Bad and the two at Gundammit. But it looks like 5K is going to have them all. Got this email from Factory Entertainment letting me know that, hey, pre-orders are about to end. They're about to close the pre-orders on the Battlestar Galactica stuff, guys. We've been talking about this probably, since last November, maybe October. Pre-orders been open since, January. They were kind of slow rolled it out. These are available, I think, still on Big Bad. If not, they are definitely on Factory Entertainment. But it looks like they're about to close the pre-orders. So if you want them, this is your chance. I'm sure when they finally come in stock, I would guess they'll be a little bit more expensive. They'll probably add $1 or $2 to them once they're in stock. But, I think usually you get a little bit of a discount when you pre-order them. What's not in this picture is the Viper, is the ship. But I imagine it's pretty much says here for our Battlestars. So I'm guessing it's all of them. It's not just the figures shown in this picture, but probably the Viper as well. But if you're interested at all, you're running out of time, I would do it before they come in stock and you end up paying a little bit more. And then the last bit of news, last bit of news, Modern O-Ring. Someone on Instagram, and I forgot his name, Toy Action News, Toy Awesome, no. Anyways, I believe he's Canadian, like Pirates, like you, and Jeff. He said that the first Visionary figure, Darkstorm, is available for pre-order now on Amazon Canada, which leads me to believe that these are almost ready to go, either on Super 7's website or Amazon USA. But I guess they are, at least Darkstorm is available for pre-order. Amazon Canada, Super 7, they really don't do pre-orders for these Reaction Plus. They have them in stock, they put them up for sale, they sell out, they're gone. Visionaries, as a kid, Visionaries was one of the only, well, not one of the only, but it was a line that I wanted that I never got any. I begged my mom and my dad to get me some Visionaries back in the day. They wouldn't buy me any. I never had any. I always wanted some. I might grab one or two of these guys when they finally come out. I still do want the Turtles. They haven't put the Turtles up for pre-sale or order yet, but I do want the O-Ring Turtles, the 4 of them. But I just wanted to point that out. If you're an O-Ring fan, it looks like, if you're in Canada, you can pre-order these already, or at least one of them. So it looks like they're almost here. And Super 7's really good about, you buy them, 2 days later, they ship them. It's not a pre-order, it's a sale. And that, guys, is overtime. Or you guys that play soccer or football, is it extra time? Extra minutes? I don't know what you guys call it. We call it overtime. We call it overtime here. So that was it, guys. Wanted to just talk about those things really quick. They're at the end. I didn't want to miss them because we've talked about them in the past. I didn't want to ignore them this week, but also didn't want to focus as much on them as we did on some of the other stuff. The Viper is too expensive. Too expensive. They look good, but they're a pass for me. No O-ring. Yeah, it was quick. It was quick. It was painless. It was like, turn your head. It's a shot. You turn your head. It's done. Feel a little prick, and it was over. Only had one Visionary, the Cheetah Guy. That was the one I wanted, was the Cheetah Guy. I have one now from SDCC set from a few years ago. Cool. I had them. They were 5-inch, good articulation. Yeah, I never got them. I begged my mom. I remember going, oh, look at this cartoon. It's so good. She said, no. Looking forward to seeing what Super 7 has at Joe Fest. Yeah, they do show up. They're one of the bigger ones that show up at Joe Fest, aren't they? You need a hockey overtime buzzer. You know what? I need a sound effect. Jeff, you're right. I need a sound effect. Man, didn't think of that. I just thought of that whole thing this morning. I was like, I really want to talk about these things, but I can't. We don't have enough time. We've already been going 2 hours. So that was it, guys. That was the show. A lot of news there. I feel like it's summertime, so it's heating up because of all the shows. Bjorn mentioned San Diego Comic Con's usually at least the biggest show for Hasbro, for Star Wars. I think Super 7's out there too. We'll see. We'll see who else goes there. I know Joe Fest is it seems like Joe Fest is the place for 118 though. That's like the 375 118 show of shows. No idea you were a fellow Canuck. Yeah, I don't. That's definitely hockey stuff. That's definitely hockey. I told you guys, I think I've only ice skated once in my life. Every December here in downtown, they have like a open ice rink that they make just in the middle of downtown. And I went there 20 years ago and went in a circle a couple times, fell a couple times, and hurt my ankles. My ankles just were not strong enough to hold myself up. Great show. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming. Is there anything else before we wrap it up? I do appreciate you guys all coming out. I'm not sure what videos I'll be able to do recently. I did have a really bad tumble. My cat knocked over almost everything. He jumped from the windowsill, knocked over all my stuff, actually broke one of my Grime City items, which I'm going to have to glue now and fix. I don't know what happened. He got spooked, and he broke one of my Dio sets. Yep, been in Hong Kong 20 but I'm from Canada. Good morning, Lord of Thane. Welcome. Go Knicks. All right, go Knicks. Hey, yeah, welcome, Lord of Thane. We're just wrapping it up right now. I hope you could catch the rest on the replay. Talked a lot of Star Wars Vintage Collection in the very first half. I know you're a big Star Wars fan. But that's it, guys. That's the show. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate it. Can't do the show without you. I'm hoping if you're here, you're subscribed. Hopefully, I hope you hit that like button. And I will see you in 2 weeks, but hopefully sooner. I tried another video this week, and I ended up getting so frustrated trying to film it. My dog kept barking. I just couldn't get a clean video made. I just couldn't get it clean enough. And I shot it twice, and it was like a 12 or 13 minute video. So you can imagine I shot it twice. I spent about 40 minutes, and I still didn't have a good enough cut to make a video. So I didn't do it. I ended up posting my haul instead. But we'll try again this week. And please keep an eye on the channel. All right. I do appreciate you guys coming out. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember, if you want to talk about anything, feel free to message me on Instagram or here in the comments of this video or any of my other videos, and I will get back to you. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Tech. Thank you, Pirates. Great show. Thank you, Jeff. Jabalong. Thought you were seeing you were in Hong Kong. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Good night. Bye now.